Welcome back, everyone. In the Carter File tonight, there are no apparent moves towards reconciliation or solutions in Spaniards Bay tonight. The community is still dealing with allegations of sexual harassment within the fire brigade, which have led to the resignations of more than 20 volunteer firefighters. Tonight, a rally is planned in support of those firefighters. Today, a firefighting instructor admitted playing a short pornographic film during a training session at the fire hall with a lone female firefighter in attendance.
The biggest thing that comes to my mind first is I don't know how a 23-second adult video became a bigger issue or a bigger issue than the sexual harassment allegations Miss Seymour has made in her fire department in Spaniards Bay. That's the biggest thing that I can't figure out, is, like I said, how that became a bigger issue than sexual harassment charges. At the time, I didn't see the video as any kind of sexual harassment. It was, like I said again, a 23-second video, not a movie. It was a 23-second video that was played at the end of the day. Basically just have a laugh at the end of the day. There was also another video played just before that. Both of them were labeled How to Put Out a Kitchen Fire. And the first one was played, and then the adult one was played. And like I said, they were only played just as a laugh to have a chuckle at the end of the day.
Jenny Wright is with the Status of Women Council. She joins me now. Ms. Wright, first of all, let me ask you, what was your reaction when you heard the story developing out of Spaniards Bay?
We were really disappointed and, really quite disconcerted. Firefighters are professionals, and because of their position, they're held in a great deal of trust. And so there's really quite a concern with a profession that holds that much trust with those kinds of behaviors.
Have you assigned any blame yet? Is there any way to look at the situation in Spaniards Bay, for instance, and try to come to some conclusions as to how this has happened?
Well, I think it's important that we understand that the incident in Spaniards Bay is not an isolated one. There was a report that came out in November and went across the 5th Estate that looked at the situation with female firefighters across Canada. And what they did find that was bullying and sexual harassment in the workplace with female firefighters was actually quite pervasive.
The young woman in this case in Spaniards Bay, Brenda Seymour, coming out and speaking, going public, what kind of price does somebody like that pay when they do this?
It's not an easy price to pay, and this is why so many people simply just do not come forward. I mean, you risk losing your job, you risk isolation. For those who experience bullying, sexual harassment, we hear quite a bit about mental health, addictions, isolation, not getting promoted for jobs. In the cases of smaller communities, it becomes very difficult when the people who are, giving you the backlash are in fact your neighbors. I mean, how do you go about your normal day anymore when these people who are treating you in this way are the people that you go to church with, or the people that, you shop with at the grocery store, or the people that you're on committees with? So it can take a huge toll, and this is the reason why we see such low numbers of people coming forward.
What would your advice be to the brigade in Spaniards Bay, to the town council, to Brenda Seymour and the others?
I think that this is a really clear flag here. I think there's a real clear incident has happened, and they need to have a look at, what is clearly happening. If we look at the incident alone of showing a pornographic film in a workplace, this is not acceptable in any workplace at any time. There are some issues there. Get that independent reviewer and have a look, and people should be ensuring that she is no longer harmed, that there is no longer backlash, and let's hear it out, let's clean it up, and let's get some new policies and procedures in there so that everyone can work safely in that department and others.
Jenny Wright, I want to thank you very much for coming in to speak with us about this.
Thanks for having me.